I am always teaching a 3-step money approach in order to reach generational wealth. And that is step number 1, master how to make more money. Step number 2, how to have, aka keep the money. And third, how to multiply the money. Welcome to the podcast, Manifesting Big Money Fast. My name is Janine Hurd. I am so excited that you found this podcast or that you're tuning in to another episode. This podcast is all about manifestation, big money, energetics, spirituality, how it's all connected, and most importantly, how you can increase your bank account right now. So let's dive in today's episode. Welcome back, money lovers, to another super powerful VIP podcast episode this Friday with a question from Angelica. And I first had picked something else, and then while I was recording this episode, I saw Angelica's question popping in, and I thought, ooh, this is too good. I want to answer this immediately. So in case you do not submit your questions, I highly recommend you to submit your questions to receive a personalized answer for those VIP Friday Q&A episodes. And there is simply a Google form. It is in the show notes, so it is super easy and straightforward. I have a question to your 3-step approach, especially to number 1. Do you have to master step number 1 before you go to step number 2? I am a meditation teacher as a manifestor with a tiny studio and would like to build up an online business. I haven't reached any 10K months by now, so this is my first goal. Which steps would you recommend? Also, because of that, my mind tells me it's too early for step number 2. And I love this question so much because the moment we haven't mastered anything, or we haven't mastered what we desire, in this case, a 10K month, and we haven't mastered this because it is out of our current comfort zone, meaning we would have to do things differently than we are doing right now. So what happens, our subconscious has this safety mechanism of like, ooh, I'm not sure if it's safe for Angelica and obviously everybody else to reach 10K. So let me protect her. And unless you've worked on this very consciously and you understand your subconscious pattern when it comes to reaching new financial goals, this is unfortunately the default setting. So meaning, with this underlying belief of, ooh, 10K is not safe for me because it's out of my comfort zone, let me protect you, your mind will always tell you things you should do in order to reach 10K, which don't bring you to 10K. I hope this makes sense. Because the underlying safety mechanism, which is responsible for 90% of your actions, it's an autopilot, will tell you it is not safe. So it must deliver you actions which do not bring you closer to your goal. So if you understand this, then you should always do the polar opposite of what your mind tells you to do. Simply because it tells you to do something that keeps you stuck at your current income goal. So that's why, and I love this, you said, because of that, my mind tells me it's too early for step number 2. Already based on this, you already know step number 2 is the most important part for you right now. Because your mind tells you it's too early, it doesn't make sense. Why should I master keeping more money? And this is exactly what we do in Wealthier for Longer. And let me give you guys some insights around this, because very often people think you've just listened to the first 4 minutes of the VIP version of the podcast. By becoming a VIP member, you can listen to 3 episodes per week. You will receive early bird access to the Monday episode, so you already can listen on Sunday. And if that doesn't sound great enough yet, I've got one more. Why you should become a podcast VIP member. I'm answering every week a listener's question in the podcast. So if you have a question, drop it in the Q&A thread and receive the answer in the podcast. Can't wait to see you. Simply click on the link in the show notes or go to courses.richandhappiness.com to become a VIP member.